True or not? The question. How many questions are given? Only five. Only MCQs there. Very less questions were there, right? Okay. You copy. You copy. MCQs. Handwriting must be improved. There is one saying. Good handwriting is the symbol of perfect education. Good. Come inside. Your
I was absent yesterday and I got this much.
abstinence study? Why? Gastritis. Then you have to ask your friends what is the homework. Now this is IT age, information technology age. That thing also you conduct. Be smart, eh, boy. Be smart school. Next. Good. Yours. Good. Yours. Good. Handwriting should be nice. Otherwise, you will look at Pandu. Pandu Ranga, Dimag Changa. New style is there. What is that? Dimag Changa. Okay. Your handwriting is improved, Keda? It is a nice handwriting. You improve. Come here. Come. This is not the improvement, I think. Look at you. Look at the handwriting. Topper is sitting near to you and you are like this handwriting. Improve. Yours. Yours. I don't want to see the students with very hopeless handwriting. Eh? Improve handwriting. It is also not up to date. Recently there was training. Was there training or not? After training also no improvement. There must be full sincerity. Why are you showing that uncovered copy, Katie? Did you improve your handwriting? IUISW. What is that? Yeah, I wrote like this. Improve handwriting. Miss Gautam. And did you improve? This is not updated. Come here. Improved correctly. Eh? Now I don't want to see these students who are very fast. Is it improved? It is in the stage of improving. Write very nicely. And my suggestion is when you are writing, don't discuss with other friends. If you focus on your writing pattern, you can. Sorry? Absent and your handwriting is improved. Handwriting is improved. It is improved handwriting. Now, onwards, the best one you have to do. It must be much better, okay? Okay. So your this checking work is already over. Now I will call one student. But mainly you have to speak more. No, listen more. I was saying like this and you speak. You have to listen more and speak less. And reading and writing you can do more and more. But speaking to the point only. Otherwise you will be gafadi. Yes or no? So whom should I call to read? Karuna, you want to read? Come. Okay, Karuna will read 2 days note copy. Okay? What is in your copy? And everybody listen carefully. Yeah. 2 days. Oh, that is okay, from there only. From next page. Yeah, from there. What is there? Yeah. Sorry? BBA, okay. She is going to read BBA one. Okay, that's great. You can read BBA. What is there? Or next also you can do. Please come fast. And today's presentator, be ready. Eh? So your turn will come. You can come up with this side and just continue.
Namaskar and good morning to you all. It's me Karuna Vasnes from Graded and I am one of your friend also. So today I'm going to read BBA question. The first question is of MCQ. What does EI stand for? EI stand for Environmental Impact Assessment. What is called the root system of plant stock? The answer is straw. What does the ovary transform into after fertilization? Fruit. Which of the following is not example of uh, ex- exit conservation national park? Now the second question is very short question answer. What is species diversity? Species diversity is describe the diversity of the living species. In how many uh, phy- Physiographic zones is Nepal divided in five physiographic zones is physiological zones is Nepal divided. Mention one causes of deforestation, and one causes of deforestation is overpopulation. Define pollination. Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grains from one another to stigma is called pollination. So now the third question is third answer question. Mention any two important of seed germination. The two importance of seed germination is it is necessary for the continuity of a plant. It is sources of income of farmer. Write the principle of sustainable development. The principle of sustainable development is population control, conservation of ecosystem, conservation of biodiversity. Long question answer. Write any four effect of natural resources on environment. The four effect of natural resources on environment is water shortage, soil degradation, biodiversity loss, global warming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have to make like this routine. Understand? I'll check your copy once, then one person will read. Now, next day you have to tell who is going to read. Understand? So you will be responsible. So I think the time and tide. Don't wait more. It's already 28th, right? And today's presentators are very much excited. And what are they going to present today? Do you know? Vegetative propagation, artificial vegetative propagation. Mainly, how many methods are there? Oh, what are they? Cutting, layering, grafting, and tissue culture, and their importance. So, why to do delay? And I think from two different scientist group they are coming here, right? One from which group? Oppenheimer. Another from Madam Curie. Okay, Oppenheimer and Madam Curie. Group members, please. You are welcome on the stage for presentation. Jain Lama and Rakshak Rana Magar. Everybody pay attention. Pay attention, right? Otherwise, you will make it tense. Everybody listen carefully, alone, children. What they are going to say.
It is net.
Of course, sometimes. So you can you come here. In low voice, okay? Low voice, slowly.
Namaskar and good morning to you all, respected Bhashmin sir. My dear friends, it's me Rakshak Rana Magar from group Oppenheimer and my friend from group Madam Curie going to explain about the topic artificial artificial vegetative propagation. Now without wasting any of your time, I would like to start.
You can
Oh, accident. Artificial vegetative propagation. Farmers also use vegetative parts of plants for artificial propagation. For its different methods like cutting, layering, grafting, and tissue are used.
Culture. Oh, physical.
This means that natural vegetative propagation is done by nature, but artificial vegetative propagation are done in an artificial way by farmers or machines. And the different ways are cutting, layering, grafting, and tissue culture. We will explain about that later.
Slowly, slowly.
Advantages of artificial propagation.
It is artificial propagation is a cheap and rapid method of reproduction. It is helpful in an expansion of the quality of the fruits and flowers. The plants formed by this method bear flowers and fruits earlier than those plants which are found from seed. This method can be used in those plants also which do not bear viable seeds.
As we read over here, these are the advantages of artificial propagation. It says here it is cheap and rapid method of reproduction. This artificial vegetable propagation is cheaper and is a rapid method of reproduction. It is helpful in expansion of quality of the fruits and flowers. In artificial vegetable propagation, it helps in the expansion of fruits and flowers in more numbers and better quality. The plants formed by this method bear flowers and fruits earlier than those plants which are formed from seeds. This method is very quick, so it doesn't take that much time to grow new plants rather than seeds from which plants are formed. This method can be used in those plants also which do not bear viable seeds. So those plants which do not bear seeds, this method can be used to reproduce them more.
Now the topic is about cutting, one of the examples of artificial vegetative propagation. Cutting method of vegetative propagation is very common. In this method, a branch of the plants is cut into pieces and it is buried partially or completely in the ground.
In this method, part of the plant is cutted into pieces and put it in some water for the root to sprout. Then it is buried completely in ground for it to turn into a new plant.
Now the next slide is about layering. Layering is also a simple method of vegetative propagation. This method is very common in shrubs. In this method, a part of the plant is buried partially in ground. By pulling it down after a few months, the buried part bears root, which is separated by cutting off from the mother plant and left at its original place for a few days. Then it's transferred to a new place as a new plant.
In this method, it is very common in shrubs, as you can read here. In this method, a part of the plant, like from the branch, is buried partially in the ground for new roots to form, and later that part is cutted and cutted. The part that bear the root is separated from the mother plant and will stay in its original place for a few days, then get separated from the mother plant for more nourishment as a new plant.
The next slide is about grafting. Grafting is a method of vegetative propagation in which the rooted part of an old plant called stalk is joined to the rootless part of a young plant called scion by making cuts on their end.
In this method, the rooted part of an old plant called stalk is joined to a rootless part of a young plant called scion. In this method, basically, a young plant like this that has not sprouted a root will get connected to an old plant with a uh, root by making cuts on their end, and this is a new plant. See the last slide.
This is the last. So the last slide is about tissue culture. Tissue culture is a high technology of vegetative propagation. It requires controlled. It requires controlled the condition. It requires a controlled. It requires a controlled condition and very good knowledge of technology.
There, there isn't much about this, but this is a very high technology of vegetative propagation where the plant requires a control condition and a very good knowledge of technology to sprout and become a new plant. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, mainly the students brought the slides of artificial vegetative propagation. You know what is vegetative propagation? What do you mean by vegetative propagation? It is a kind of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from vegetative parts of plants. Actually, plants, well-developed plants, they contain two parts, two type of parts. One is vegetative part, another is reproductive part. Flower is reproductive part because there are reproductive organs, right? And rest of other parts like root, stem, leaves, what are they? Vegetative parts. If new plants are produced from those parts, what is it called? Vegetative propagation. So, how many types of vegetative propagation are there? There are two types. One is a natural vegetative propagation, another is artificial. For natural vegetative propagation, no any good knowledge is required. Just use that plant's part. Root can be kept inside the ground, new plant is produced. Stem is kept inside the ground, new plant is produced. Leaf is kept in the ground, new plant is produced. That is natural vegetative propagation. So there are three types of natural vegetative propagation. What are they? By root, by stem, by leaf. See here, first we are talking about natural vegetative propagation, then we will discuss about artificial. Okay. So by root means here is sweet potato. When sweet potato is kept inside the ground, sweet potato is a root that contains some buds. They germinate and new. They grow actually. They grow and form new plants. Next one by stem. Soya, this is not soybean. Onion, ginger, garlic, right? When they are kept under the ground and provided some conditions like water, some food, fertilizers, then the new buds develop from there, or the buds grow and new plants are produced. Onion, potato also, eh? A potato is also here. And vegetative propagation by leaf. There are mainly two plants which is produced by leaf. One is begonia and bryophyllum. Children, you have to remember the name of the plants which reproduce by artificial vegetative propagation as well as natural vegetative propagation. Next one is today's topic of discussion was artificial vegetative propagation. Artificial vegetative propagation is that method in which there is involvement of trained human being. Human being must have good training. The person who has got good training can operate this smart board, yes or no? If you call that labor who is working in that roadside and ask him to operate this one, can you do? In the same way, in artificial vegetative propagation also, the person who has got training can perform these activities. Among them, the easiest and simplest one is cutting. What is that? Cutting. What is done in cutting? Simply, the branch is cut. But there must be node. What should be there? Node. From this node, some buds they generate, right? From nodes, roots also can produce. That's why the branch with nodes, two nodes, three nodes, they are cut, and one node must be inside the ground. Node means that a bit swollen a bigger part also, right? Where there is bud. When it is kept inside the ground and provided water regularly, fertilizer regularly, then new plant is formed from it. Actually, it is done in plants like what is that? Hibiscus, rose, pear, sugarcane, etc. So the rose we might have seen, right? Got it. Money plant also is done same thing, right? Got the branch of money plant, you keep in soil. Now, how many of you contain money plant at home? 1, 2, 3, 4. So many are there. Good. Okay, please keep your hand down. And if you go in nursery also they will provide you different type of plants, right? And they just simply cut it and make new one. They sell us. Yes or no? But do you sell from your home? You don't. I also have got money plant. I have kept money plant in five pots. There is Janga money plant. So we have to provide food to it or not. Water also or not. So caring. So cutting is like that. Next technique is layering. What is next one? In cutting, directly branch is cut and separated from the plants. But in layering, the branch is not cut. The flexible branch, which can come up to the ground, that is covered with soil. Branch is covered with soil. Is it covered with soil or not? Sometimes they take out the outermost covering of the branch, that is called bark, B-A-R-K. If the bark is removed, it will be easy for the development of root. Okay. So they already said layering is done in shrubs. Shrubs are not too much taller plants, they are bushy plants. And those stems that can come reach up to the ground, they are bent. Some parts bark is removed and it is covered with soil. Sometimes fertilizer also can be kept there. Water should be supplied after 1 month, not later than that. Within 1 month, what is developed here? Roots are developed. And after development of root, what do? They cut this portion, this side. Then will there be new plant or not? Again, they may cut this side also. New plant is there. But they should not take out this and keep that next side. No. If they want to place that plant in new place, then this whole part must be collected and sold or grown in next place. So, did you find the difference between cutting and layering? Cutting, branch is cut and kept in another place. In layering, the branch is buried under the ground. When the roots are developed, then it is separated from the parent plant. Okay, there are different type of layering that will be discussed in class 10. In which class? 10. There is air layering, there is ground layering, there is saddle layering. No, saddle grafting, not layering. There is that compound layering. Okay. Next one is grafting. What is third technique? Grafting. Again, this grafting is very important. Grafting can be done in shrubs also, trees also. For grafting, what do? They select same species. There are many species of mango on it. Some mangoes they produce very delicious fruit. Some they produce bigger fruit, right? If they want to grow delicious fruit in that bigger mangoes tree, at that time what can be done? They can cut branch of one mango and that branch can be fitted in branch of another mango. It can be inserted. Here remember, Riti come here. In grafting what is done? Suppose it is one species of mango. This is another species of mango, right? They are species different. So suppose this species is taller one, but this species is very sweet one. At that time, what can be done? Okay, branch. This branch is cut. This is cut, and here also they make one deep hole. Either or they just cut and remove this part, then just join and then tie it. And from this branch, sweet type of mango is produced. From that side, another type. From here, sweet type. Which one is inserted? That is grafting. Very interesting one, right? So this grafting can be done in different type of plants. Like what is there? It's given any plant name. Especially it can be done in mango. Where mango there are different type of grafting. Tongue grafting, whip grafting, bud grafting, cleft grafting, side grafting, saddle grafting, etc. Mangoes, guava, apple, and many flowering plants. So now you have to remember here the rooted plant. The rooted plant is called stalk. Rooted plant means the plant with root is called stalk. Another branch which is inserted there, that is called scion. We have done one minor experiment. My hand was kept in his hand, right? So my hand is scion, his whole body is stalk. So in which plant another branch is kept, that is stalk, and the branch which is inserted there, that is called scion. What is that? Scion. Spelling Scion. What are the different type of grafting? Weave grafting. Look at here. Weave grafting, tongue grafting, board grafting, cleft grafting, side grafting, saddle grafting, etc. Okay. Uh, the last one, but very very important one is tissue culture. Tissue, you know, from cutting, grafting, layering, we can get less number of offsprings. In grafting, we don't get new offspring because in the same plant it is done. In layering, new offspring can be produced. Cutting also new can be produced. But if you want to produce large number of offsprings, babies, then which technology is suitable? Tissue culture. But you must have good knowledge about it. You must have training. You must be well trained. For that, you must have some hormones. What should be there? Growth hormones. There are mainly five type of growth hormones, plant growth hormones. How many types? Five types. But here we will discuss only two. One is auxin. What is one? What is spelling? Auxin. Auxin. This helps in growth of root. Auxin helps in growth of root. Cytokinin. It helps in growth of shoot. If we supply more auxin, more roots are produced, they go down. If you provide more cytokinin, more shoots are produced and grows very fast. In developed countries, they use plant hormones and produce the crops very quickly, so that fruits, flowers they are obtained large quantity also in shorter time also. Okay. So for tissue culture, they should not need different things. Just they can use any part, either from leaf, either from root or stem. Some tissues are taken. What is that? Tissue. Group of cells are called is called tissue, isn't it? So that tissue is kept in a container. In the container, they use two things. One is uh, plant nutrients, food for plants. Next one is growth hormones. When plant nutrients and growth hormones are added to that tissue, slowly its size increases. And what is it called? Callus. What do you call it? Callus is that more number of tissues produced in that environment, right? Then again, it slowly becomes more in number, and two things are produced. One is root and stem, and many new plants are produced. Many, and those plants are kept in different places for self-growing. Understood or not? So from tissue culture, we get large number of plants in short period of time. But from others, we don't get that much number. From cutting also we can, but we have to cut many, isn't it? But in tissue culture, just take some tissue. If you take this much tissue, yes or no? You can get more than 1,000 plants. More than 1,000. But you must not forget to provide plant hormones. What are they? Auxin, cytokinin, and plant nutrients. Plant nutrients means plants, do they need food or not? So, what type of nutrients are needed by plants? You know, mainly 24 type of nutrients are needed. How many? 24. What are they? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, oxygen, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, manganese, carbon, etc. Right? But mainly they need three type of fertilizers: nitrogenous fertilizer, phosphorus fertilizer, and potassium fertilizer. So that also must be provided. For baby, for small baby, Do they provide rice or lactogen? Lactogen provided, no? Either mother's milk or lactogen. If dal bhat tarkari is provided, then what will happen? Hey, Nisha, can that person survive? It will be quite difficult, no? That's why passing is done, no? Passing after 6 months, so that the person becomes stable. At the beginning, from first day only provide dal bhat tarkari mean khatam, right? Okay, that was about today's presentation. What was that? Artificial vegetative propagation. It is really beneficial for farmers, beneficial for the people who are in nursery. Who are in nursery baby. You say, oh sir, nursery, let's go to class nursery. Not like that. Nursery is the place where they grow different type of plants and sell, right? For them it is very much essential. They can have more money also by this method, right? So this advantage also find out, method also you find out, drawings also you find out. Once again, please read, everyone, and make lovely notes. The note must not be less than 2 pages now. Must not be less than how many pages? 2. That's why there must be drawing. I have seen some of the students writing 2 lines and finish. Like Eric, like student right here. Eric, Bikram. Okay, please start doing your action now. Did you